Alright, we're looking here at my new Traxxas XO-1. This is a 7th scale supercar according to Traxxas. The first thing you can tell about this car is it's fairly large, and I know it is hard to see sometimes, but if you just look at it, compared to the remote and the second generation iPod Touch here, this is a massive car. Compared to the old touring cars, probably some of us used to have back in the day. I used to have HP IRTR3, TC3, Yokomo GT4. Those are all 10th scales, and this car is giant compared to that. So what am I going to say about this car? I really just wanted to point out a few weird facts about it, or you could say defects, in my opinion. So the first thing that I find a little bit weird is in the instruction manual on page 13 it says the docking base will charge your mobile device as long as your transmitter is turned on. So what that means is when you have your transmitter on, the 4 single AA batteries in here will charge the iPod Touch. Now I personally don't think that's a great idea. It's so much easier to charge your mobile device, with a regular USB charger like all of us do anyway, than to drain your 4 non-rechargeable AA's. So far, honestly, I haven't really seen this function work because I've had this connected like this for over a week, and the iPod Touch is barely drained. It's still at about 80% battery life, and the transmitter batteries are still fully charged. So I haven't seen that function work, and I did use it, but I haven't ran the car with it yet, but I did have it connected for a while. The next thing, in my opinion, the rear body position, the way it sits on the wheels, it's just very, very close. I mean, right now, there's no suspension movement, but, if it hits something, let's go like this. I mean, it doesn't seem to be hitting anything, but as we all know, with Lexan bodies and speeds, things happen to deflect sometimes, and I probably will trim this a little bit. I don't want to have any type of grooves in the wheels. Next thing, so let's take the body off. The next issue I have is, I'll try to get a close-up of it, but on the wheels, can't really tell that much here. There's very obvious molding defects. There looks to be, it's about like a 0.5 millimeter gap where this front wheel was molded. I'll see if it's in this wheel, and this wheel it's also here. Now, I don't know if that's going to wear out or somehow change over time, but really, that's not something I'd like to see in a high-performance wheel like this. I mean, this is one of the first belted tires there are, so that's very surprising. I mean, HPI somehow manages to have no defects in their wheel molding process, so why can't, a nearly $1,000 car from Traxxas do the same thing? Next thing I really do like about this car is just the layout. It looks very, very nice. Everything is very inboard, center line of the chassis for perfect weight distribution. The wires are very, very thick. They just look like they belong in this car. One other negative, I mean, for a car like this with so much aluminum, I mean, you have aluminum front and rear shock towers, caster blocks, steering blocks, everything is aluminum, drive shaft, but yet the shock caps, which we all know is a Traxxas negative. On nearly every Traxxas model I've had, the shock caps would pop off, as they do on the Stampede VXL, on the Rustler. They always pop off. No matter what happens, they'll manage to pop off. Now in this car, maybe that'll be limited because this is a non-road car and it does have very limited shock movement. So maybe that won't happen, but they do manage to give you nice big bore aluminum shocks, but they really could have gone the extra mile and given you the shock caps. So that's not too good. One other thing is, you can see I only have one battery in here right now. Charging the other one, the pack says to charge at 5 amps. Now my charger is really only charging at about 4.3 right now. Don't know if it's my charger, I doubt it's my charger because I have charged at 5 amps before. But the pack does seem a little bit bloated compared to the other pack, and there is some type of electrical goo coming out the connections. But the cells, I checked it with my cell checker, they seem okay. They're all equally balanced and charged as of now, so I'll see how that goes with the charger. What else do I like? So let's put the body back on. I do like the way the body fits, and you know, for a car like this that's supposed to go at 100 miles an hour and more, you could really see the engineering that Traxxas put into this car. So every single element of the body is somehow held in place. You can see the body right here sticks into the side panels. That's pretty good. And then the front bumper here, it could also be modified for a high-speed bumper. On the other side is a foam element. So the bumper, the front of the body is held as much as it possibly can be, not to deflect in any way. That's very cool, because I know on other touring cars that pretty much the body posts were the only thing that hold your body. At speeds, you could see the way the body would flex, deflect, and move. You know, once you start hitting 50 and more, that really does matter. So aerodynamics here, you could see that Traxxas spent a lot of time and effort figuring that out. The rear of the car, let's look at that. It has a giant air diffuser, what they call it. And you could see the way the body fits it snugly. Very, very nice. Basically no air coming in anywhere through the body here. And you know, well, here there's really nothing holding it, but it's close to the body post, that seems okay. So, you know, that's that. I mean, for the price that they sell now, you can get them for under 700 new. You know, with discounts, you could get it for a little over 600 from Tower Hobbies. I mean, this really is a steal. Price-wise, it's cheaper than the e-Revo VXL, which really is just another truck, you know, with a really good brusher system. But yes, it is a truck. Some people don't like the on-road touring cars, but you know, you have to have at least one, in my opinion. I also prefer off-road, but you know, I always like to have at least one touring car just to have it, because you're not always going to be off-roading. And let's face it, a lot of us convert our off-road trucks, mainly the Rustler and the Stampede, for speed runs only. And the speed runs, we do them on asphalt anyway. So why not just have a purpose-built on-road RC car that's already made to go over 100? You don't have to convert anything, spend any extra money. You know, this car is made for one purpose, and that's speed. You know, the size alone lets it do that. So, you know, the Rustler or some other trucks that we convert, either way, they hit a barrier where the truck dynamic of the car, the geometry of the car alone is just high center of gravity, and over time the air will hit it in such a way that, you know, it'll just flip over itself. A lot of us like our Slash VXLs, but over time, you know, well, when I say over time, I mean at speed, pretty much anything over 50, they begin to act squirrely and really don't handle that well. This car, yeah, it's a handful to drive, but don't think that you can only drive it on a track. I personally don't think I'm going to unlock it for a while. Mine is still locked and has factory gearing. I personally don't think I'm going to be going anything over 60 anytime soon. So that's that. That's just my small review of this car, and I'll keep you guys updated.